Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Tickers, the show where we help you understand earnings calls without actually having to listen to them yourselves.
That's right.
We do the hard work for you.
Absolutely.
And today we're diving deep into Canopy Growth.
Yeah.
They just had their Q3 2025 earnings call.
Yep. Fresh off the presses.
And there's a lot to cover here.
Yeah, definitely a lot to unpack.
Especially with with their new CEO Luke Mungo now at the helm.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. He comes from,
Yeah.
big consumer giants like Procter Gamble.
Right. That's like a total shift for the cannabis world.
Absolutely. I mean, it really makes you wonder, how his experience with these these huge household names and global markets, how's that going to translate to the cannabis world?
Yeah.
Which is still, relatively young and facing a whole bunch of unique challenges.
Totally. So
Yeah.
let's jump into it. Revenue-wise, Canopy saw a little bit of a dip this quarter, down 5% year over year.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you exclude the businesses that they've sold off, their revenue actually climbed 8%.
Oh, interesting. So that's, that suggests their core operations, they're actually holding up pretty well, even though the market's, kind of a tough one out there right now.
Right.
And on top of that, two of their segments, medical cannabis and their Storz and Bickel vaporizer brand, those are both showing some real strength.
Yeah, let's talk about that medical cannabis for a second. They're actually seeing record revenue
Wow.
in that segment, both in Canada and internationally.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just like maintaining market share either. They're actually grabbing more.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And they've also been expanding their product line to meet
the needs of all the different types of patients out there.
Right. So it seems like they're really taking a targeted approach to, really listening to what medical cannabis patients need and adapting to provide those solutions.
It's like they're saying, hey, we get it. You need options.
Now, on the adult use side, there was a year-over-year dip, but they did see a 15% jump compared to last quarter.
Oh, okay. So quarterly growth is still there.
Yeah.
What's driving that?
Well, a few things. Bringing back their Wana gummies. I think they had some supply chain issues before.
Oh, right. The gummies.
Launching the award-winning Claiborne-infused pre-rolls in Canada.
Oh, wow. Those are
Get this. They're selling bulk flower to other producers.
Wait, so they're selling to the competition?
Yeah, kinda.
Huh. That seems a little counterintuitive.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of a smart strategy when you think about it.
Yeah.
They can focus their resources on higher margin products, but still generate revenue from the bulk flower.
Oh, okay. So it's about maximizing efficiency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit to the global picture. Canopy's doing amazing in Europe. Revenue's up over 70%.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
Where are they seeing the most growth?
Poland's a big one. Demand's actually higher than what they can supply right now.
Right.
And they're also doing really well in Germany. They've got some new product launches over there, and they've been partnering with European suppliers.
Interesting. So they're not just taking their Canadian model and just transplanting it. They're really adapting to each market.
Right. They're tailoring their approach to those different European markets.
Yeah.
Okay. Shifting gears a little. Back to a more established brand.
Yeah.
Storz Bickel, their premium vaporizer line. It's still doing really well. 19% revenue increase.
Yeah, they're like the Vike. That classic rock band that just keeps putting out hits.
Right.
Everyone knows the Volcano.
Exactly.
But they're not just resting on their laurels. They've got this new high-performance VENT model.
Yeah.
It's making waves. And their online sales are strong, especially in Germany. So it shows they're not afraid to innovate and keep pushing the boundaries of, what a premium vaporizer can be.
For sure. Okay, so now let's talk about the new kid on the block, Canopy USA. They finally closed those acquisitions of Wana, Jetty, and Acreage.
Right. Big news.
And this U.S.-focused platform is ready to go. Ready to make a splash.
And they've got Brooks Jordanson, now the president of Canopy USA. He was at Kiva before.
Oh, yeah?
The largest cannabis distributor in the U.S.
Wow. So they're really not messing around here.
Nope. It's like they're putting together a cannabis dream team.
Right.
They're clearly setting themselves up for major growth in the U.S.
Yeah.
That U.S. market is complex.
Uh-huh.
But the potential is massive.
For sure.
And with this team and this brand portfolio, Canopy USA is in a really strong position.
Yeah. All right. So before we before we get too carried away dreaming of cannabis empires here, let's talk about the financials. Canopy's been working hard to tighten their belt, cut costs, and improve their cash flow.
Yeah. So they've been steadily paying down debt,
Yeah.
which is a positive sign.
It is.
They've also got a decent cash cushion. And they're even using a stock program to generate more funds.
Oh, interesting.
So it seems like they're taking this balanced and strategic approach to their financials.
Yeah. So big picture. Is Canopy Growth poised for a comeback?
Well, you know, from what we've seen in this earnings call, it's looking pretty promising under Mungo's leadership. They're really leaning into their strengths. They're streamlining their operations, and they're focusing on profitability.
Yeah. I mean, it's still early.
Yeah.
The early signs are definitely encouraging. They're making some smart moves. Their financials are looking up, and they've got this bold new venture in the U.S.
Yeah. It's going to be really fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Canopy's story is far from over.
That's for sure.
And this earnings call gives us a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
I mean, their performance is really a reflection of the broader cannabis industry as a whole.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's still evolving with its own, opportunities and challenges. It's like watching this high-stakes poker game. What's Canopy going to do next?
Right.
One thing that really stuck out to me was their success with, medical cannabis. Makes you wonder, could that be a model for their adult use strategy going forward?
That's a great point. I mean, they've already proven they can be a major player in the medical space. So could they replicate that in the, broader adult use market?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. They've totally nailed it with medical cannabis.
Yeah.
Product development, quality control, patient education.
Yeah.
So could those same principles work for a wider consumer audience?
It's definitely possible. I think the key would be adapting their approach to really resonate with a different demographic because, medical cannabis consumers, they're often driven by, specific recommendations from their doctors, whereas adult use consumers, they might be more influenced by branding, lifestyle, trends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's where I think Mungo's experience can be really valuable. He knows how to build brands that people connect with, and that's something that the cannabis industry as a whole is still kind of figuring out.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the cannabis industry is still so young.
Yeah.
And there's this huge opportunity for brands to really emerge and capture those, the hearts and minds of consumers.
Okay, so let's put on our speculative hats for a minute. What if, and I'm just spitballing here, what if Canopy went all in on cannabis-infused beverages?
Ooh, now that's an interesting thought. Risky, but with the right marketing and product development, that could be a real game changer.
Right. Imagine. It's totally normal to grab a Canopy-branded THC drink, just like you'd order a beer or a soda.
Yeah.
It might sound a little crazy now.
Yeah.
But remember, legal cannabis sounded crazy just a few years ago.
That's true. And, Mungo's background in the beverage industry, from his time at Procter Gamble, could be a huge asset here.
Absolutely.
He understands what it takes to create a successful beverage brand from the taste to the packaging, the distribution, the marketing, the whole 9 yards.
It would be a bold move for sure. But Canopy's never been afraid to push the envelope. And with the U.S. market opening up, the timing might be perfect for something disruptive like this.
Yeah. They could leverage their existing distribution network, their marketing power, and Mungo's expertise to create this whole new category of cannabis products.
It's a tantalizing thought. Even if they don't go all in on beverages, it's clear that Canopy's thinking big.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to take risks.
Absolutely. They don't just want to be a player. They want to be a leader, an innovator, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Canopy Growth is a company in transition, a company with a bold vision, and definitely a company worth keeping an eye on.
For sure. This earnings call, it's given us a glimpse into their strategy, their challenges, and their ambitions. And it's clear they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Right.
But before we wrap up, let's have a little fun with our This Is Not Financial Advice segment.
Oh, yeah. All right. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. Because this one's a wild ride.
Okay.
What if Canopy Growth partnered with a major airline to offer cannabis-infused beverages on international flights?
Oh, Canopy or anyone.
Right.
That would certainly make those long-haul flights a bit more bearable.
I'm picturing it now. You're soaring above the clouds, sipping on a refreshing Canopy-branded THC drink, watching the latest blockbuster.
Yeah. It would definitely shake up the in-flight entertainment game and could open up a whole new market for Canopy.
Right.
Think about it. Long flights are stressful, boring. A little cannabis could help passengers relax, unwind, maybe even enjoy the experience.
Of course there would be. A ton of regulatory hurdles.
Oh, yeah.
Logistical challenges.
Just for sure.
Not to mention potential for some interesting in-flight interactions.
Right.
But hey, it's not impossible. I mean, we're already seeing cannabis lounges popping up in airports.
That's true.
So why not take it to the next level?
It would be a bold move, a risky move, but a move that could make Canopy the talk of the travel industry.
Imagine the marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Fly high with Canopy Air, where relaxation and entertainment reach new altitudes.
I like it.
Okay. Maybe we're getting a little carried away here.
Maybe a little.
But it's fun to think outside the box.
It is.
And imagine the possibilities.
This is not financial advice, but it's definitely food for thought.
So there you have it, folks. Our wild and wacky trade idea for the day. Remember, this is all purely hypothetical. For entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions.
Couldn't agree more.
So we've made it to the end of our deep dive into Canopy Growth.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
It has. It really has. From medical cannabis to their U.S. expansion and even our little Canopy Air fantasy.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
But you know what really strikes me is just how much Canopy is changing. It's not just about growing weed anymore. They're building these brands. They're innovating, coming up with new products, and really positioning themselves strategically for the long haul.
It's like they're almost transitioning from just a cannabis company into a full-blown consumer goods company.
Right.
Which, I mean, that makes sense, given Mungo's background.
Yeah, for sure.
But that brings up kind of an interesting question. Can a company really master both worlds?
That's the big question.
Cannabis industry. It's got its own unique complexities, all these regulations.
Yeah.
Can Canopy really navigate all that?
And still be competitive.
Yeah.
In the cutthroat world of consumer goods.
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
It's going to be fascinating to watch how they leverage their cannabis knowledge while also, embracing these principles of brand building and marketing that Mungo brings to the table.
It's like they're walking a tightrope.
It really is.
But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
Canopy is not afraid to take risks.
Nope.
They're not afraid to push the limits, whether it's the U.S. expansion, their potential move into cannabis beverages, or even our crazy Canopy Air idea.
Right.
They're thinking big.
Yeah, they're not just riding the wave. They're trying to shape it.
Yeah.
And whether they succeed or stumble, it's going to be one heck of a ride.
Well said. Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of Talk Tickers. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And joining us on this deep dive into Canopy Growth. Always remember, this is just our take. Do your own research. Talk to a financial advisor. And make sure you're making informed investment decisions that align with your risk tolerance and your financial goals. We'll be back soon with another episode, breaking down more earnings calls and helping you make sense of the world of investing. Until then, happy investing, everyone.